kids that ain't never growing up, yeah. This is for the one who ain't never had a love, yeah. This one's for the girl who don't feel like she's enough, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This one's for the cool kid playing on the school team, crying to himself cause he never had the prom queen. Head full of wants, but they said it's just a pipe dream, yeah. This one's for the kids like me, they ain't never had one day. The ladies always turn their cheek, but they ain't let the fat ones sing. This one's for the kids like me, kept working when they had nothing. When people try to take their dreams, they stuck it to them, please don't change.
Hello, everybody out there. Welcome to another Hangout stream. Alex Cuesta Show. How are we doing out there? Everyone, wherever you're watching from, YouTube, X, Facebook, Kick, Rumble, how are you? Thank you for watching. Why don't you go and click that like button? That would be highly appreciated. Make sure you subscribe. And if you want to find us on the socials, the Alex Cuesta Show is the way to go. So right now I am peeking in live here at the Rams-Bears game, which is currently going on in 17-17 tie in overtime. Rams with the ball. I'll keep you guys abreast to what's going on there. Earlier today, the Patriots ended up beating up on the Texans. I think it was 28-16 was the final score, 31-16, something like that. Neither quarterback looked very good. Drake May looked like crap. He fumbled the ball a bunch of times. Had the pick I don't count. That was the last desperation throw at the end of a half. But he didn't look good. The defense of the Patriots looked fantastic. And CJ Stroud may not be the quarterback of the Texans next year. He looked lost. He had 4 or 5 interceptions. It was bad. It was real bad. But stupid Patriots are going on. I thought I could get both of my AFC East teams that I hate out of there with the Pats and the Bills, but alas, it was not meant to be. And the Patriots seem to have easy street for jumping over to the Super Bowl because the the starting quarterback Bo Nix of the Broncos is hurt. So we'll see how that works out there. But right now, the Rams just punted the ball. Caleb Williams and the Bears have it overtime. They have the second possession, so they could go on. And if they get points here, they win this game. So again, I'll keep everyone updated at that. But we are going to have some fun today because David informed me that Tyler Oliveira decided to piss off the world again. Now, he's basically been like a YouTube documentarian. That's the best way I'll call him. And he's pretty well known. He has, I think, 1 million something followers. He's really, really, really popular. And he got big, not big, but really noticed about a month or change ago when he did the Poop Festival over in India. And he got loads of people pissed at him. A lot of Indians giving him death threats and stuff like that. And it was pretty crazy. Now, this time, he's heading into New York. And he went and visited a town in New York State that is basically inhabited by all Hasidic Jews. And once again, he has pissed off a ton of people. And he is getting the community mad at him, but he doesn't care because he laughs all the way to the bank. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch that, do a fun little watch and react, have a good time with it. And then if there's any time at the end, there was a few clips that I wanted to talk about with Democrats kind of showing their hand, but we'll see where that goes. So let's have some fun here. I'm ready to have some fun. I hope everyone else does. Let's go.
You work for Hamas?
I don't want my kids should play in the house of a secular guy.
This is Curious Joel.
You're a Yid.
A village of 44,000 Hasidic Jews in upstate New York that primarily speak Yiddish have an average of 7 kids per family.
How many kids do most people have out here?
By the way, I live in the New York area. I have no idea where this is. Oh, speaking of, you see all the snow on the ground there? I have to get this off my chest before we keep going with this video. I've lived in the Northeast my whole life. Why is it that it seems like we've forgotten how to prepare for snow? This weekend, we got hit with some snow, and the roads were as bad as I've ever seen them. And this, to me, has been something that's been ongoing lately, where they just seem to forget that snow comes, you put salt on the ground, you come with the plows, right? It seems like they just don't care. And I have no idea what is going on, but it just seems like in the Northeast, number one, everyone is now starting to panic over snow. This weekend wasn't as bad, but people are doing these irrational panics. It's just snow, y'all. We've had it plenty of times before. Everyone pretends like this snow is the worst snow of all time. No, it's just snow. It's not too bad. But then on top of that, you have the town, the county, the state that it's just seemingly not doing anything. And it's rather bothersome. So this is my little diatribe about the snow because it was just annoying today. But anyway, let's go back to watching the video.
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids? It's one of the poorest towns in America, with 40% living beneath the federal poverty line. Many men here are religiously studying the Torah full-time and heavily rely on public assistance and welfare in the form of Medicaid, housing vouchers, food stamps, and cash aid to support their giant families that God commanded them to have. And
now, it seems like, this is just a typical kind of Ponzi scheme that they're all religious. They are all studying the Torah forever. They are all, there, so they need aid. They don't work real jobs. They all have these cars. They walk everywhere. And I've seen this before because where I grew up in Jersey, I was right near Lakewood. And Lakewood has a massive Hasidic Jew community and growing by the day. And it's a very similar situation now. This is funny here because this comes on the heels of the big fraud in Somalia. Not Somalia, the Somalian fraud over in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm wondering if Tyler Oliveira exposing this will cause the federal government to look into this at all. Because I feel like this is as big of a problem, is claiming that every single thing that is in your little town is a religious temple or everyone is practicing that way. Therefore, you don't have to pay taxes. You don't have to get real jobs. You get every government handout. So let's see what Tyler comes up with.
Village enforces strict gender roles, modest dress codes, and sends their kids to private religious schools. And why is it okay for Jewish people to live together in a homogenous Jew-only community, but it's illegal when white people try to build their own? I pulled up to Curious Joel myself to see what's going on.
And this is true. And it seems like every other demographic is kind of allowed to have their own little enclaves, right? Like no one bats an eye at Chinatown over in New York City. No one bats an eye at Little Italy. You have your, basically black communities. You have your Hispanic areas that are just heavily Hispanic. But when white people go in and try to do things, it's gentrification. It's bad. And, this is true here. So let's see.
Welcome to Curious Joel, a traditional community of modesty and values. In keeping with our traditions and religious customs, we kindly ask that you dress and behave in a modest way while visiting our community. This includes wearing long skirts or pants, covered necklines, sleeves past the elbow, use appropriate language, maintain gender separation in all public areas. Thank you for respecting our values. Let's pop in here and say shalom.
Now, I don't know if it's against the law to just create a religious town or not. I actually don't know. I don't know if it's against the law, federal, New York State, to just fully on create just a religious town. I know in Texas, they've been fighting against, there's a whole entire basically Muslim only community that they're trying to build. And I know Governor Abbott's fighting against that. So let's see what continues to go on here.
Lots of people praying. Hi, shalom. Okay, so it says entrance for members only. Not sure what it takes to be a member. What does it take to be a member? Do I have to be a Jewish to enter? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the schedule exactly, but 9 o'clock sharp, they're not at work. What is this?
Now, it's crazy because, again, what I know about living near the communities, he's brave just walking in because these individuals can get violent. They defend their own. They make sure you don't interfere, and they can absolutely get violent. So this is pretty damn brave, not gonna lie.
Okay, so I guess everyone's praying right now. So you gotta wonder what these people do for employment.
You'll notice the Mexicans out here are doing the hard labor, and the Jewish people, I'm not sure what they do.
Maybe we can ask
Keep
this
on
guy.
showing that one guy.
Excuse me. What do most people do for work out here? You don't know? All right, cold shoulder. Question for you, sir. How long do people pray per day?
Maybe this hour.
Okay. What do people do for work?
I'm not an report. We have to
Okay, what do you do for work? Okay.
It's funny because it seems like they are all kind of being coached up on don't talk to people, right? I don't know the script. Don't talk to people, all that type of stuff. So interesting to see him just consistently getting the cold shoulder.
You don't want to talk? How many hours a day do they pray?
3 hours a day.
Do people have 9 to 5s?
Yes.
Like what industries are they involved in here?
Construction, all other type of industries.
And what do you do?
I'm a student and also I'm doing home care.
What are you studying?
I'm studying Torah.
Torah?
Yes.
How old are you?
Our holy Torah.
And who pays for education?
I try to work on overtime.
So it's interesting because I've dealt, the thing is too, I have dealt with, Jews that have that work honest jobs and Hasidic Jews, right? They are very religious and they come and they have honest jobs. They work their 9 to 5s and they do their thing and they study. But again, with the statistics here and stuff like that, you might have found one here that really, really works and works hard, but it's not seeming very good for them.
Yes.
Where do you work overtime?
I work home care.
Home care?
Night, yes.
Is it like, do you have kids?
I have kids, yes.
How many kids?
3.
How do you afford to raise 3 kids while being a student?
Because I work very hard. I want to study the Torah. I'm very proud.
How do you afford to study the Torah though?
God help me.
Does the American taxpayer help you too?
Also, yes.
Yep. How many people out here are on like welfare in the form of like housing assistance or Section 8 or EBT, SNAP, Medicare?
Yes.
And that allows you to study the Torah?
This guy's going to get in trouble. This guy is saying way too much. He's got some flappy mouth. This guy is going to get in trouble. The people in the area are not going to be too happy with him yapping here.
Yes.
And raise your kids?
Yes. Yes, thank
And
you.
how many kids do most people have out here?
17, 18.
How do they afford 17, 18 kids?
They are proud to do what the Torah says, that you need to be multiple and fruitful.
Wow.
17 to 18 kids. We are going to be like an Amish and Hasidic Jewish country in like 5 years. Because they're the only ones that seem to be having kids, and Muslim. Yeah, that's what we're going to be. We're going to be Muslim, Hasidic Jew, and Amish. Those are going to be the 3 people left. Because even conservatives aren't keeping up with that. Yeah, they're having more kids than, leftists. Leftists are having like 1 kid. But, conservatives are maybe having 2.5, 3, 17, 18 fucking kids. Muslims have like 5 or 4 or 6. And Amish have like another like 8 or 9. It's gonna be crazy.
And do you think there's welfare abuse in the community out here?
No.
No, because they actually have the kids?
Yes.
They have the kids. Do they get tax credits for the kids?
What they get, but they are all doing to keep our Torah, yes.
Keep the Torah.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on people out?
So what's crazy is he keeps on referring back to keep the Torah, keep the Torah, keep the Torah. And I get it. He's religious, but he's not concerned one bit with like any of the laws of the area, laws of the country, anything like that. Like none of that matters. It's just keep the Torah, keep the Torah, keep the Torah. And I mean, I get it. He's heavily religious, and the Hasidic Jews are very heavily religious. And again, most of them, typically, if they're not one of the leaders, they're not really going to talk much. So I'm surprised that this individual talked this much.
There who can barely afford to have 1 kid.
If they want, they can have 1. But if God's given them more, it's very proud.
Okay, shout out God.
Yes.
Okay.
One thing, we are very against the state of Israel. It's a very big problem for us.
Yeah, so you guys don't approve of...
So they are very against the state of Israel. So you'll see this a lot too. And a lot of these individuals, because they get all of this help, this is who's voting Democrat on the Jewish side, even though the Jews are ridiculously anti-Semitic. Not the Jews, the leftists are ridiculously anti-Semitic. You'll have the Hasidic Jews heavily voting for them. And anyone that will pander to the Hasidic Jews, especially in New York, they're going to be the ones that get their vote. If they're the ones that, kind of give them what they want, they get their vote. It's very real over here that this community is massive in New York State, and they are a big voting bloc.
a state of Israel before the Messiah comes, right?
Yes, yes. Zionism is not Judaism. It's a very other thing.
Question for you, sir. What do you do for work out here? Are you on the phone? Or are you listening to the radio? Okay. Damn, it's tough to get some answers out of folks. What do you do for work?
Nothing.
How do you make money?
My wife.
Your wife? What does she do for work?
What is this? What?
Interview. Good.
I mean, like he's obviously very uncomfortable, right, with these questions. They used to living their life, and they're used to being allowed to do whatever the hell that they want to do within this community. That when an outsider comes in, they're not prepared for this type of stuff. Like I said, a lot of the times you won't get a lot of these individuals even talking, and they leave it up to the leaders and stuff like that.
To meet you for YouTube. So your wife works and you study the Torah?
See, once it's
Have a
an
good
interview,
day.
no,
How many kids do you have?
Have a good day.
How many children do you have?
It's only going to take
Okay,
too
thank you.
long before they let
Well,
people
that
know
was
that he's there.
fascinating. Excuse me. Do you study Torah?
Study then?
Torah?
No, no.
What do you do for work? Do you have a job? Does your wife work? Are you a student of the Torah?
Yes.
Do you work a job for money?
I?
Yeah.
No.
Does your wife?
Yes.
She does. Does your wife go to work to make money and you study Torah?
Where are you?
Tyler, good to meet you.
Again, it's like once you start asking these questions, it's all right, who are you? What do you want to know? Like, you're obviously an outsider. Are you news? Are you somebody trying to pry? Are you a government agent? Like, this is something that is very big to them in that way. They're trying to protect their own here.
doing a YouTube video about this place. I find it fascinating.
I don't have time. I have to.
But where are you going if you don't work?
I study.
So you study. And does your wife work? What industry does she work in? Teaching, education,
Teaching.
children? And how do you afford the kids if you don't work? Your wife? Okay, thank you. Sounds like a great setup. Damn, I might have to get in on that. Excuse me, what do women work at here? What jobs do women work in here? Is it mostly childcare?
Now with that, I'm surprised she even stopped and turned, because typically, like a good Jewish woman, you don't even want to have an interaction with another man. That man's not your husband. You do not have another interaction with him. You keep it to only your husband, and that's that. Like, you could be friendly with people and talk to them, but a random stranger on the street, especially when your husband's not around, that is a no-no zone. Especially, like, if he tried to touch one of them, that would be like catastrophic.
Okay, cold shoulder. Do you work a job as well as raise the kids? Do the women raise the kids in?
They want
Okay,
nothing.
tough to talk to the women out here. How do people afford to have families? So, like, as you raise baby, do you also go to work at some point? What do you do for work? Do you study the Torah for a living? Do you study the Torah? Do you work a job? No? Does your wife work a job?
Every single guy he's asked has been the same answer. I study the Torah. I don't work. My wife goes to work.
Are you a student? Do you work? Are you a student? Man, I can't do this anymore. Question for you. Do you study Torah?
We're only 6.5 minutes in the video.
Do you study the Torah?
Just ignore him.
Excuse me, sir. Do you study the Torah? Hey. Oh, you speak on his behalf? How do you know that? Get on out of here. He said he doesn't want to give an interview. How would he know? Do they communicate telepathically via hive mind? Hi. Tyler, yes. How are you, my friend? How are you doing? Yes.
Wow.
How are you? You want to say hi?
Independent journalist.
Yes.
Lucy, you want to say hi?
I mean, that's crazy that he actually knows him. But, Tyler Oliveira is a popular guy, so I'm not surprised that someone has heard of him. They're not, the Hasidic Jews are not like completely and totally like against technology and stuff like that. Like, they have some things, and they have internet, and they do things like that. Different than like what a lot of people conflate and get the Amish and Hasidics confused. They're not that way. They are very religious. They believe in having very limited stuff, but they're not like devout of everything. And just a quick update. The Rams kick a field goal in overtime, win 20-17. Rams are moving on. They will be playing the Seahawks. That's going to be a fantastic game. Nate, what's going on? Suffer Purse Trubisky. Yes. I mean, listen, I'm excited for the Rams game. The Rams versus the whatchamacallit, the Seahawks. That's going to be a great game. And God, whoever I'm going to be happy for the Rams or the Seahawks to eventually beat the Patriots, because it looks like the Patriots are going to walk their way into the Super Bowl. But Nate, what we're doing, we're watching Tyler Oliveira's video that he took over in upstate New York about a basically fully Hasidic Jewish community, and seemingly that they all live on government assistance 100%. So let's keep going.
No.
Okay, how are you doing?
Shit, this office.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about this place?
Sure, we go up here.
Okay.
It's a very nice place.
Yeah, and it's mostly Hasidic Jews?
Yes,
Okay.
it's only Hasidic Jews.
And it's one of the most biggest growing towns, right? By percentage?
It's a big.
It's crazy because it's like I've never heard of a place that has been allowed to be, and I get it. I've seen like there's the Jewish enclaves and stuff like that, but typically they're like within towns and there's pockets of towns that are them. I have never fully seen like a town that's 100% them. And again, like I said, Tyler Oliveira is exposing something here that could end up being massive as we look into fraud around the country and things like that. This could be really, really, really important as to, what goes on in the future and stuff like that. So Nate saying Hawks Rams, probably the Super Bowl. Tyler Oliveira is solid. Yeah, he does some good work. I like Tyler. Let's keep rolling.
Big families, too.
Big families, right?
How do people afford to have such big families out here?
It's. I'm not saying anything.
I mean, they don't want to answer the question because they're told not to. And most of them probably don't know. I will say that a lot of them probably don't even know. A lot of them are just being, the religious leaders are the community leaders. So they're just being told what to do, where to go, what to do. And the religious leaders and the wealthy individuals that are, dedicated to keeping money flowing and keeping the programs going, they're the ones that handle everything. So everyone else is just told to go and live their life.
What do you mean? How do they have such big families?
We believe in God, that
Believe in God?
created that.
Okay. Hey, thanks for saying hi, my friend.
I don't know who you are.
My name's Tyler Oliveira.
I don't talk to the suspicious person.
How am I suspicious?
I don't know who you are.
Damn, ouch, that hurt my feelings. Do you study Torah? Or do you work a job or own business?
Everybody here works a job.
Well, that's not true. What's up?
They have Torah and they work.
That's not true. That's a lie.
This is what I like this about Tyler. Tyler goes in there and he's trying to get the interview, but like he's heard from several people that they don't work, that they don't do anything. And obviously this looks like, based on his dress, and he's a little bit older, he seems to be one of the leaders. So he's probably pretty hip to what's going on. So when he hears that, he's going to be pretty pissed that somebody's yapping.
That's not true.
Suspicious person.
That's not true. I've talked to people. They said some of them just study the Torah. They told me themselves.
Well,
So who's the liar? I understand that. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know who you are.
I'm just asking questions. How many children do you have?
You work for Hamas?
That's a hilarious question. Do you work for Hamas? I mean, that is wild to assume that someone that's just asking question works for Hamas. Like straight up ask a dude like, yo, are you a terrorist? That's a random first question.
What? I'm a journalist. I'm just exploring. YouTube vlogger. I don't work for Hamas. He said, do you work for Hamas? What? Okay, so this is the most beautiful $10 million synagogue right here.
Yeah,
it's quite nice. See if anyone wants to talk. Hello. Are most people here rabbis? 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 Are you guys rabbis?
No.
Okay. Do most of them work as... Yes, hello. I'm asking men what they do for a living out here. Are most people here...
What number?
Oh, just my name, Tyler. I'm just asking Hasidic Jews out here because I know
No, not for you.
What do you mean?
People are not gonna answer you because
What do most men do here for work? Is it they study the Torah?
no, most people are working in Amazon like this.
CNN? No, I just have a YouTube channel. The mere presence of a...
It's funny because like everyone is all in the same garb. They all know each other. So it's like you could see like they're all kind of side-eyeing him. And they're all like, there's a few brave souls that seem to not be, they're a little more hip to what's going on and stuff. And they'll go and talk to him. Maybe some of them recognize him because they know who Tyler Oliveira is and what he does. But, a lot of the older ones, a lot of the religious leaders are like, get out of here, dude.
Goyim was sufficient to raise suspicion.
Question for you. What do most men do for work here? Are they rabbis? This is working? What do they do? Because I'm trying to talk to people, just figure out what the main industry is.
A lot of things.
Can you give me some ideas?
Oh, go outside.
Okay, thank you. I'm trying to talk to folks like you. How you make your money and afford to raise your families.
Rolls.
What?
54 rolls.
But then I finally met this guy who gave me some wisdom.
Help me out.
Everything people do.
What do you do for a living?
Billboards.
How long does the prayer last? And when do people go to work?
People go from 9 o'clock in the morning, from 6 o'clock in the morning until the night.
I mean, that is one of the rare ones. He's younger. I guarantee he went out and because they do, if individuals do want to go out and go to school and go to do stuff, they do allow them to do that. And, at some points, especially if they have talents and things like that, they still want to bring back some skill and talent to the community so that they can have some up and up businesses and things like that. So this individual, seems very well spoken and stuff like that.
How do they pay their bills?
How they pay the bills? By working.
Well, when do they work if they're praying all day?
They're not praying all day. So you have a lot of people coming in the morning and going into work, then coming back to pray. You have a lot of people coming in the morning to pray. They have people just waking up late.
I see,
From
okay.
having a big community.
So you own a billboard company?
Yes.
How do people afford to have like 10 kids out here?
The community is based on this. So
So is it wealthy members of the community give charity?
Yes, mostly. That's the way.
Are most people?
So that's big there, that the wealthy members of the community give a lot of charity now. I wonder if these wealthy members have these charity organizations, if they're 503c 503c charities and things like that, where they're tax exempt. And now they're giving these large lump sums to individuals that are poverty stricken in that community because they're on public assistance. And now they're getting major tax breaks. This seems to be like a little bit of a Ponzi scheme.
People on Medicaid, SNAP, EBT? Let's be honest.
I don't know. I can't speak for other people.
What about you?
I'm not going to tell about myself.
Okay.
A lot of these folks have business there. Not all of them. Okay. Some of them.
But there's a lot of you guys, right?
Some of them are being supported by community members.
Okay. What's the big industry for women out here? Is it childcare? Because I notice Mexicans seem to work like retail, construction. Many men will tell me my wife works, but I do not.
That's not true.
That's what they told me, though. They themselves.
The first 2 years after they get married.
Okay.
Only the first 2 years.
Okay.
And then they go work. Most men.
Okay. All right. How many?
So I guess it seems like, after the first 2 years, that's kind of some good insight, right? Because I guess it's required for them to become holy men and really go and study the Torah. And then after they go to work, but it's tough. Like this guy gave the answer. I do billboards, and that, that could be decent money, right? You're renting out the billboards, you're putting them up, you're getting rental, and depending on how many you have, you can make a pretty penny. And like I said, there are individuals in these communities that have money and they really have these good businesses, whether it's real estate. There's a good amount of Jewish people have massive real estate conglomerates. Like I said, I knew from where I was, a lot of the big investors in just, there was a lot of real estate investors into commercial and the regular residential stuff.
Kids do you have? I'm going to guess you have 13? They all vote unanimously in favor for it. Look at this. There's a car accident every 5 seconds. Some of the driving out here is horrendous. It's truly terrible.
I will attest to that.
What did the Jewish people here do for?
Again, I'm going to go back to Lakewood because that's what I know. This is a rare community that they have SUVs. Most of the communities I've dealt with, at Lakewood, they all have minivans, and every single minivan has a dent on it. And that's, I'm not even exaggerating. They all have dents on them. The driving is insane.
For work, from what you've seen. Okay. Do they just pray or?
No. So yes, they pray every single day and they walk every single day after this matter.
After they pray, they go to work?
Yeah. They drive in a school bus and a transit bus.
Excuse me, gentlemen. What do you guys do for work here? Do you guys have like businesses, like work a job? Do you guys study Torah?
I have a job.
What do you do?
I'm in sales.
Are you lying to me? Just the way you looked at him, I'm just like, what?
Are you lying to me? Just that, like he gave the side eye and was like, kind of like, I don't know what to say here. And do I lie? Do I tell the truth? And that guy is just, look at that. Look at that picture. This dude right here is just, I fucking him hard. Like, you better not mess up, bro.
Just what do you do?
I'm doing sales.
What do you sell?
Food.
Why do you keep looking at him? Okay. What food do you sell?
Chocolates.
What? I feel like I'm getting bamboozled right now. I don't understand the look back there. Do most women raise their households and then they work afterwards?
Some, not most.
Some. Okay. Like what percentage? Half?
Maybe half.
Maybe half?
Usually when they study, they do just that.
Okay.
But the ones who work study in the morning and late afternoon. In the evening.
To be fair, I have seen people who work bus driver jobs, some people doing something in the shop, sort of managing the shop. The construction and hard labor seems to be exclusively executed by the Mexicans. Excuse me, miss. Do women work and raise the kids out here?
Sometimes.
Do the men work or do they study the Torah? The sheer density of minivans out here is a phenomenon in and of itself.
Minivans. I talked about the minivans. I like that Tyler's doing this, and I know he's going to get a lot of kickback and flack. And it's like, oh, you're painting one community with a broad brush. But it's not like he's like interviewing 3 people and walking away, right? Like, we've seen those, and they're like the man on the street type of like interviews, and they interview 4 people, and it's only the 4 worst, and blah, blah. Really seems like Tyler's taking time, and obviously they cut this, they edited this, they put out the video. There's probably a bunch of interactions that they cut out because they were less fruitful and things like that. But there's a ton of interactions already, and we're only a little over, we're 12 minutes deep.
Excuse me. What do you do for a living?
Oop,
okay.
Not talking.
What do you do for work?
Not saying a word. So
what do you do for a living, sir?
No one's speaking.
Tough scene. Excuse me. What do you do for a living?
And what's smart about Tyler, too, he's obviously been doing this forever. He's not entering into any businesses. He's staying on the sidewalk. And when he entered into the religious area, that, yes, it's private property, but it's a religious area. Most of the time, people are A-okay with entering into religious areas.
What do you do for work?
Everyone's just ignoring him.
A student.
You're a student. You're old, though. There we go. So you got to answer this puzzle for me then. What do people do for work out here?
We do construction, we do everything.
Do people spend hours praying in the synagogue and then they work afterwards? Yeah. Do the women raise the kids and that's all they do, or do they work as well?
They work as well. The men also raise their kids.
Wow.
We just don't bother nobody. Whatever normal people is doing, we're doing.
Okay.
But we're doing it mostly in the kosher way. Instead of selling to general supermarkets.
I see.
For example, I'm in the kosher food. I sell for kosher supermarkets.
What I'm hearing is they'll gladly take.
A lot of it is they take care of their own. They keep it in house, and they very much take care of their own. And that one guy was like, I follow on you on YouTube. He kind of knew what Tyler was about, and so he's gonna give a good answer.
Money out of the American tax base to support their lifestyle, and if they do start a business, it'll most likely accommodate and service Jews.
We don't bother nobody. We don't kill.
This is true. No violence out here.
No violence.
No drugs.
No drugs. No stealing. No raping. No nothing.
I've only seen bad drivers, though.
You know why? Yeah. Because we have so much. We have like 10 children. We're all too busy. That's why we were upset by driving. We're getting nervous. That's the biggest violence you'll find by us. One day a year.
I mean, there is truth there, right? Like, outside of heavily living on the government dime, because they're so heavily religious, you don't find a lot of issues in the community. Like you said, we don't bother anyone. But, again, by extension, if you are pulling so much off the taxpayer dime and you're only giving back into your own community and kind of circulating it, I mean, that's kind of an old school way, right? Because it used to be that the community took care of the community, and now we're just so much more connected that we're not used to seeing communities generally taking care of themselves, unless you're in like small town USA, which are still an absolute fuck ton of small towns, right? That's still majority of the country is small town USA. But in terms of, where I'm from in suburbia and things like that, it's much more extended. You don't stay in your own little bubble.
It's called Purim. That
party.
We dance, people getting drunk. And the biggest good thing about that we're giving donations for other people.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know how much money goes out in this village?
I'm going to guess millions.
Millions? Yeah. And that's without being so polite, keeping open the doors. That's a thing on
Gentile behavior.
Yeah, right. No, not Gentile. It's a,
Some goy
but
behavior.
you're not going, I can see it.
I'm goyim.
No, you're not going.
I mean, he knows what he's saying there. And again, some of these guys are forthcoming. And again, it's not trying I think what Tyler's doing here is fair. He's not trying to paint it all with the broad brush. He could have easily cut out some of these where they're, where everyone's just telling him they don't work and they don't do things. And he could have, but he's keeping the ones in that are like defending the community. Like, hey, we work, we do things, we pray, but we keep it in our community. We don't cause problems. So he's giving kind of both sides of the conversation.
You're a Yid. Going back, you're a Yid. Are you a Yid?
I'm goyim.
Can you show me your license?
I know that you guys don't support Zionism, or you guys don't support the Jewish state until the Messiah is here, right?
Exactly. They are not the Jewish people. They are not us, and we are not them. They are not Jewish at all. The state of Israel is a secular state, same as Japanese, but they call themselves Jewish people. They don't obey no laws. They're taking out kids from the yeshiva, sending them to draft to army to fight Hamas, which they create the problem. If they would listen to the Torah, the whole war wouldn't be.
How do people afford to have...
I mean, and you've seen this is the second time that this individual saying straight up, Israelis are not Jewish. And I mean, this is common amongst different sects, S-E-C-T-S. I want to make sure everyone knows that. I can't say that word, sects. I can't say it. But different groupings within certain religions, right? Because you'll even have within Christians. I mentioned the Amish. The Amish are very much a hardcore Christian, but you have your Catholics, your Mormon, your Protestants, your different groupings of Christians, and they all consider themselves correct, and some consider themselves more Christians than others. These individuals aren't very Christian. They're wrong. They're right. So while I think people are surprised by hearing things like, they're not Jewish, it's like, that's not uncommon for different opinions within the same religion kind of calling each other out. Like it's the same thing with Muslims, like the Shiites, the Sunnis, the Kurds, they all hate each other and things like that, and they'll call each other out. Nate saying Orthodox, Catholic, Amish, exactly. And Nate also saying base Hasidic. Listen, I like this guy. I think this guy is forthcoming, and I think he's making this guy makes the community look good.
So many kids here.
They don't afford, we help each other. We opened 2 groceries called Maitiv. We're giving them 50% discount. Just giving you one example.
Yeah, I could get a discount too?
Yes, because the store is officially made for everybody.
The one thing I am curious about though is the welfare use.
Both the federal or whatever the state, they're both spending equals money for other people. The only difference is over here, the money is being spent for us in our mouth to eat, and in Bronx it's being spent for the NYPD to fight.
I mean, again, I think Tyler getting to the crux of the question, and I think the point that this Jewish man is trying to make is when we get our welfare, it's our welfare to feed us. We're not wasting it on other shit, right? We're not taking this, the welfare that we're being given and making it wasteful. We're not going to buy things that it's not meant to be bought with or taking advantage of it. When we get the welfare, we're actually using it. We are getting our, when we get our EBT, we're going to buy food with it, like, and food that, our kosher food and stuff like that. We're not going and trying to get handouts and go get some lavish things and things like that, which again, he has a point there.
Are you on welfare?
No.
Do you know anyone on welfare here?
I won't comment on that question.
Come on.
How should I answer the
You own a shop. You own a supermarket, basically. So you would know. Give me a rough estimate if you can.
No.
Why not?
I'm not.
Why?
I'm not going to comment.
Why? Why is that the stickler?
Because I can't answer you as simple.
You can give me a rough estimate, though. Just ballpark.
What do you think? And
I'm going to guess 33%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that's probably about on average throughout the U.S. That's not terrible.
Exactly.
I'm just trying to figure out how people afford to raise 10 plus kids on sometimes single income households.
We don't spend so much money for each kid.
Humble living. Okay? Like how many kids per family?
I mean, that's also actually a decent point. And again, that Jewish guy actually was one of the most coherent out of everyone in terms of how they answered, right? How do you raise so many kids? We don't spend a lot of money. And obviously, if they're going into each other's stores and things like that, and they're all giving each other discounts. Now, I wonder what those books look like, right? In terms of they have to get some sort of outsourced stuff that they have to pay for. Are they just taking zero on things? Are these businesses not making any money? Are they basically just sitting there and uh, making enough to pay their rent, and that's about it? It's interesting to see their opinions and their conversation here.
Family.
10, 12, 14, 15.
Oof, that's huge. And how do people afford to have such big families out here?
Working. I don't
Working?
know.
Like, what do people do for work out here?
What to do? Brokerage.
Brokerage?
Construction.
Okay.
Teaching in school.
Okay, teaching, school, construction. What percentage of people do you think are on welfare, Medicaid? A lot?
A lot of people. Big people.
Okay. Okay. What do they do?
I mean, again, we're getting like brokerage, construction, things like that. So a few different answers. Like these are some better answers than before when we were just getting out. I don't work. I only study. And the other guy said that, only within the first 2 years of marriage. So there has to be something within the Hasidic Jewish community that requires the men to study hard. And, I don't know much about the Torah and stuff like that, and I need to brush up on my Torah and read it. As a person who likes history, I look at all these religious texts as also historical pieces. So that's something that it's definitely on my docket to read the Torah. But coupling some of these things, like the guys, they work for 2 years, and they study for 2 years, and then they get to work. And we have a few different jobs. We live very modestly. We help each other. Again, I'm not trying to defend these communities because I don't want to defend or disparage. I'm just kind of giving my comments here.
What I do?
Yeah. What do you do for work?
I'm a student.
Student? Okay. How old are you?
Okay, it's very late to me.
I see. Thank you. Would you like to be interviewed?
I know can professional English, so.
You speak English? Any English? No? Okay. Tough to find someone that speaks English out here. It's tough to find anyone besides the Mexicans out here at work.
I mean, it's very interesting too that tough to find anybody that speaks English out there. That's kind of an issue with me. I think that needs to be kind of a requirement. I get it. They speak Yiddish and stuff in terms of what they speak out there, but at the same time, and I think it's Yiddish. Don't quote me, but at the same time, more than just your leaders should be able to speak English if you're living in the religious community, if you're living in the United States of America. Nate G saying read the Talmud too. Yeah, I got to read both. I got to read the Talmud. I got to read the Torah. There's a whole bunch. Interestingly enough, I actually read through some of the Quran because when I was working over with some kids at a job that I had at one point, we were in one of the group home settings, and my boss was a very devout practicing Muslim, and we had great conversations about Christianity, Muslims, Islam, and things like that. And because I was so curious, he actually gave me an English translated Quran, which I know is very rare. So I've had that forever now, and I've thumbed through it a little bit. I can't say that I'm super read up on it, but again, these religious texts are things that I am interested in reading as a historical base.
You guys are looking at their phones half the time too. I'm a little bit confused. And why is everyone on the smart or on the flip phone? Are they actually speaking to someone? Like, are you actually on the phone with someone?
Yes.
Oh, you are. Okay. Some people I hear are on the radios.
Could be.
Okay. Pregunta. Este ciudad Jews?
Yes.
Solo?
Yeah, it's only the Jews.
And las personas Hispanic trabaja por construcción?
Yes.
Jews trabaja en construcción aquí o no?
Only the Hispanics.
Hispanics? Okay. Thank you, my friend.
I mean, again, that's one guy, right? Anecdotal, but it's pretty telling that obviously he's in the construction doing the job, and he's like, nah, only the Spanish dudes are working. It ain't the Jews out here working. It's only the Spanish guys that are doing the construction. So some of the guys said that they do construction. Now, maybe it's not construction just within the community. Maybe they have a construction outside the community. So that is a possibility there. Trying to give as much, grace and leeway as possible.
Okay, so this is sort of a well-known fact, but it's good to hear from him that the Hispanics are working the construction out here. and the Jews are living here. You work in the medical industry.
Yes.
And you help someone who's elderly or?
Well, it's for pediatrics.
Pediatrics.
It's a private office for Dr. Wurzberger.
Okay, I've noticed that seemingly only Hispanics are out here working.
Yes.
And I have not seen many of the Jewish people here working.
Yeah.
Do you know what's going on there?
That I don't know, but we do have a few coworkers also that are
Okay.
Jewish. I have noticed that also.
I'm trying to figure out how you guys afford to have so many kids, though.
I mean,
I see all these Mexican workers, too.
Personally,
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
You're struggling? Yeah.
It's not easy. Most
Okay.
of the people I know are struggling.
And that's interesting. That's a little bit of honesty there, right? Obviously, interviewing that young lady, and she's kind of noticing the same problem that Tyler's seeing. And you have this guy here. This is the first guy that we see that admits, we struggle, and it's a struggle. And I mean, even trying to live in modesty, you're still trying to live in relative comfort, right? Maybe not all the luxuries that, you would have if you're outside of the Hasidic community and the luxuries that you really know and have, but you still want to live in relative ease, especially if you're raising your kids. You want to have some sort of comfort. You want your kids to learn the religion, work hard, but still have some sort of comfort, right? In their lives. So it's, this is the first guy that admits that.
Are most people who have this amount of kids on forms of welfare like SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance, that sort of thing?
A lot of people.
Yeah.
I can't talk for others, and I don't know.
Do you think
people have because
yeah,
for sure they are eligible for
like tax credits for the kids, right?
and they're eligible more for whatever, for low income, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Because you have that many kids.
Like Section 8 waivers for stuff like this?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, do most people work jobs out here? Or is it kind of just raising their kids?
As far as I know, yes. I mean, the woman will raise her kids, and most of the men will work.
And the women raise the kids full time?
Most of them. There are some women who will work part time, and less women
Yeah.
work full time. But it's very hard to work when you have that many kids.
I mean, one of the things you're seeing and we're diagnosing here, and just what I'm taking away is they're having a fuck ton of these kids. And yeah, they work, right? But when you have 10 kids, 12 kids, a family of 15, God, there's not many jobs you can have, especially living in America. And they're in New York, man. In New York, where we are, everything's expensive. There isn't anything cheap. So it's not easy to have enough money. Even if you're, trying to live as modest as possible, that's not easy to do. So even with working, and if your wife works, someone's got to watch them. And you can have a community all you want. 10 kids or 10 kids. You got to watch some of them. Some of them are young. You can't always pawn that off fully on the community. So very, very interesting. He's getting some real insight to some of these individuals.
Right. Could I move here as a non-Hasidic Jew? Would I be able to, though? That's my real question, because I've heard it's practically impossible.
It's not true.
It's not true?
No. Nobody can stop you. You're not going to be comfortable.
I get that, but
I mean, that's a very honest thing. You're not going to be comfortable. He's saying it's not true, and Tyler's trying to get to the crux. Basically, if he'll be blocked from moving in there.
Did someone actually rent or sell me a house out here as a non-Hasidic Jew? Unlikely, right?
It's not unlikely. I mean, unlikely maybe. I can't.
Okay.
I don't own a house.
Sure.
To rent you to ask you this question.
Yeah.
But the point is that everybody lives wherever they want to.
Sure.
Like the same as I live here. Nobody told me, hey, you have to live here. I live here because I want to live here. Correct?
Yeah, that makes sense.
If a secular guy is going to move in, he's going to be uncomfortable.
I mean, it's interesting too. Like if a secular guy is going to move here, he's going to be uncomfortable, and that I don't want to say it's a threat, but it's almost a promise, right? Like, dude, if you decide to move here, you're not going to have a good time. And this was something we saw in the beginning, but let's see what he says here.
I don't want my kids should play in the house of a secular guy, because the reason why I want to live here because I want to be religious.
I see.
I want my kids should be religious.
Sure. That makes sense.
Here's the thing. I respect that. I respect that. Some people will look at that and be like, oh, that's wrong. But I respect that. It's one of the things that we always get terrified about. And this is outside of the financial thing going on there, right? Anyone that has faith terrifies people. Anyone that has true faith, true belief, fucking scares the shit out of people. Because so many people are just so negative because it's real easy to be negative. It's real easy to just believe there's nothing there. It's real easy to just believe that bad things only happen. And they get surprised by the good, but they're always expecting the other shoe to drop, right? That is a real easy way to live is negative. But to have faith and then to want to be around other people that have faith, that is not easy. Like you said, I'm a religious guy. I want my kids to be in the same area that I am, right? I want them to be having those people that have the same theory that I have in terms of religion. Now, obviously, they're going to have differences. They're human beings, but I generally want my kids to be playing around in the area where I'm comfortable. And I can't say that that's necessarily a bad thing, right? I think as a good parent, we do the same thing even in, as they would call in like secular communities. I'm always going to make sure that my kids are in a household. If they're going to play with a friend, if I think that the parents are skeevy, they're not going to play there. I'm not going to drop my kids off there. I'm not going to drop my kids off with parents that I think aren't good parents. We make those judgment calls as parents. And this is no different. He's saying like, hey, you can come live here, but I'm not going to let my kids play with your kids because you guys believe radically different things than I do. And I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. Nate G saying homogenous communities are literally paradises. Yeah, for the individuals that are in it, right? Again, my only experience comes from where I grew up, which was as I've gotten older and realized, a very mixed, very diverse area where we had a whole lot of everything, every race, every religion, all creeds. Um, we had a little bit of everything going on where I was in my small town in Jersey. And that's the way I grew up. That's the only way I know how to grow up. So for me, like, I wouldn't know I don't know. I don't know if at this point where I am and how I was raised and what I know, I don't know if I would like to go and live with a bunch of people that only agree with me. I fucking like arguing. I like debating. I like hearing different viewpoints. I don't know how I would feel personally if, everyone just agreed with me. Now, would I like that we all have a similar philosophy on our life, that we would, um, all want to have similar outcomes and things, and that would obviously lead to less strife, less debates, less arguments, usually less crime. Yeah, that's honestly probably like a great trade-off, right? Because when you're in a community where you all believe in similar things, you're not going to want to harm that community. You're all trying to get to a similar goal. That's why people always looked at the Scandinavian nations before. A few of them fucked up and let a whole bunch of migrants in. But people would always look at the Scandinavian nations as, free market welfare states and look at all the benefits they have. And they're like, those places are great. Yeah, because it's damn near impossible to become a citizen because they want to stay homogenous. Because even if they disagree with some of the things on the government in terms of how much taxes they have to pay, they were all raised in a similar moral philosophy. So they generally have similar agreements there. Nate G saying less crime, greater economic prosperity, greater social prosperity. I mean, the only difference here is, Nate, is that the economic prosperity in the Hasidic Jewish area is not working out too well, right? A lot of them are on welfare. So I think it really, Nate, that all depends on what the kind of theory of the homogenous areas, right? If they're a bunch of go-getters, if they are, white Western Europeans who are just people out there that typically have been known to be hardy and just work their fucking tails off, yeah, you might have that, but there'll be a lot of competition. So you have that drawback, right? Because we've always been driven by more and more and more. We're the group that doesn't stop. Where you look at other times throughout history, the Chinese at some point were the most advanced civilization in the world, but because of their own religion that basically preached not having too many luxuries. Same with the Persians. The Persians at one point were the most advanced, but each of them stopped themselves from continuing advancements. Generally, I'm generalizing here, but stopped themselves from continuing with advancements because of their religious theory of having too much luxury. Where Honestly, Western European bases were like, fuck that. We're just gonna keep on going, and we push and we push and we push. So there's a push and pull with that, Nate. I really think that there isn't one like baseline because Europeans are fucking cutthroat when it comes to stuff. All right, let's keep rolling here. We're about halfway through.
I don't hate them. I love
Yeah,
everybody.
no, that's reasonable.
I will have everybody.
Yeah, have you heard of the all-white community in the Ozarks?
I know, yeah.
Would you agree with them doing that?
I don't know. I don't want to live there. The point is not this.
But you think they should be allowed to do so, though, right?
I don't. I have a lot of opinions.
Do you think they should?
So hold on, like that to me is a little weird, right? So you're they basically, but then again, he doesn't say that they're an all Hasidic Jewish community, right? This individual has, I think, a little bit of a different theory because when Tyler asked him, like, can I live here? He's like, yeah, you can live here. You won't be happy, but you can live here. You know, we can't stop you. Where the difference is in the Ozarks, the all-white community is quite literally we're staying white. And they're blocking other individuals from coming out. Like myself, I'm not a pure white guy. I promise I wouldn't probably be allowed to live there. So, I mean, this guy's coming at it from a different perspective. And I think Tyler's going to try and get him with like the differences here. But he openly admitted like anyone could live wherever they want. It might be unlikely. You might find some struggle. And if you do live here, you won't be happy. But him personally, he's not going to stop you. He has no qualms with you trying to come there.
As I told you, you have to sit down.
Oh, man, all right, you're a complicated guy. Could I buy a house there? Would they let me?
Legally, I think you.
Legally, I could, but they wouldn't, right?
It's a good question.
How they will deal with that?
Again, as he's getting to it, like, yes, you can buy it, but you'll probably have so many loopholes, so many issues that they'll basically force you to walk away from it, right? They won't stop you, but they have their ways of forcing you to walk away.
Why is everyone so busy? Back to the video.
No speak English.
None?
No.
As I was going around, my drone captured the most dangerous people in the city. Bad drivers. But real quick, the sponsor of this video pulled out once they learned what the topic was. So if you want to support the channel, get access to these videos early, and watch never before seen.
That's hilarious that the sponsor pulled out when they found out what it was. I mean, when I told David I want to look at this video, he said, like, people might give you shit for being a Jew hater. And I'm like, whatever. If people want to think that, I honestly don't give a shit. I have never given a shit, so it is what it is. I'm just reacting to a video. And again, one that I think is not completely and totally unfair to the community. I think it's asking legitimate questions. And like I said, he's not only taking the interviews that make the whole Jewish community look bad. He's taken them that also make him look pretty decent, that aren't, terrible.
Content I can't upload on YouTube. Go subscribe to my Patreon at patreon.com/Tyler Oliveira for $5 a month. Back to the video.
I have $500. You want? I can give you.
Hi, sir. He said that he gave me $500.
And go check it out.
You can call the police. They'll make a police report.
It doesn't pay.
$500 for that? Come on, man.
I think you give me $2,000.
I don't have $2,000.
I'm going to give you change.
It's funny, like, we don't want the police involved, so we're going to haggle with you. We are going to haggle with you. Nate's saying, I can't blame them. Would you want to sponsor the episode? Absolutely. Absolutely. You're getting millions of views. 100%. I would want to sponsor the episode. Yes. Absolutely, I would. Pulling out is cowardice, right? If I'm Tyler, I would say you're not my sponsor anymore. Just because of that. I wouldn't be reasonable. I'd be like, listen, you know the type of videos I make. You're done here. And that individual sponsor is now missing out on a fuck ton of potential customers and views because of a little bit of cowardice on a touchy subject. Add some space saying it. Hey, add some space. Nice to see you. So, Casimir Freeman, this video is deliberately unfair. It's very basic propaganda. Want to go through the methods step by step. Add some space. It's normal for someone to make a deal rather than claim insurance. Oh, no, it is. It is normal for them to make a deal if they don't want the police involved. Listen, I get it. You make a deal. You don't want insurance involved. I'm not saying that it's abnormal. I just find it funny that the way they're haggling here.
I don't have $2,000.
Oh, if it were me, I would just call the police, get the police report, and handle it through his insurance.
Okay,
yeah.
So
that's some damage right there. $2,000-$3,000 worth is my guess. And just for context, do you live here? You work here? Okay. Wow, look at this, another accident. Oh my God.
Now, the thing is, with all of these city areas, though, the buses, it is whether it's an area like this or you're in like fucking like Boston or New York or any of these like cities, these turns suck for the buses. And it's not something easy for them. And if, you know, as a driver, you do sometimes miss it. Now I get it. Tyler is making a big point on exactly, you know, all the driving. And again, like I said, I've lived it. I have lived it. Fucking terrible drivers. That is not abnormal to say, but and Casimir Freeman, you don't need to go through the step-by-step and propaganda. Like I said, I'm just reacting to the video. I don't think it's propaganda. I think that it's being fairly decent. It's not necessarily showing him in a terrible light. He's not making, you know, he has some basic assumptions, but he's trying to find them out. And I think that these are things that are okay to be done without yelling that it's propaganda. But if you want to comment some more, I'm happy to hear your opinion.
That's just it. They cannot fucking drive out here. There's a car accident here. They're trying to go outside of insurance. It's a phenomenal style of driving out here that leads to quite a few car accidents, it seems like.
She's concerned that the police might have a really good relationship with the people here.
Oh, valid. They probably do. That's why we're going to hold them accountable with the camera. What happened?
I came down over here and she was over here and I was waiting and she started to backing up. I was turning and that's all.
I see. The rest is history.
I need license and registration.
Oh, yeah. He said that he's going to give me $2,000 to send me quick pay.
He said he's going to give her $2,000 now, what she was originally asking, so we don't, you know, use the resources and all that.
Wait, I got to ask you a question.
That's interesting. But yeah, listen, I get it. I get it. He's trying to not get insurance involved, trying to not raise it. Add some space saying, I feel like he's being very negative towards the community. Listen, he came in with negative assumptions. I'm 100% going to say that. The research that he did and things like that. And I mean, he's trying to dig into a space that is predominantly just one community, which isn't common, right? It's not super common that it's just one community that seems to be very closed. And while he came in, I think, with a fair assumption, to be quite honest, when you're looking at the welfare rate and things like that, and you're looking at the number of people, and he's asking questions about work and he's getting answers. And this is where I think that he's had some fairness there. He is saying that he's letting people air out where they work, what they do, and he's getting some comments on that. Add some space saying, why is he saying he wants to get out of the insurance and they have connections with the police? He just wants to bring up negativity. For me, it's very normal. I've done it in the past. I mean, the guy was saying it to him that the woman was concerned with that. So I think you're misinterpreting there. The woman was concerned that there were connections with the police, and she was just relaying it to Tyler there. So Casimir Freeman saying, one, he parked near a religious school at daytime, asking young men if they were working. Obviously, he got the outcome of getting many weirded out people who aren't employed. He can get the same in NYU. I mean, but NYU isn't a full community, Casimir Freedom. That's different. You park outside of a religious school, that's fine. But then when he walked in and he asked people, I mean, again, people could be weirded out. That's fine. But he has gotten people that are responding, though. It's not like he's showing only people that aren't responding. Let's keep working here.
How many kids do you have?
7.
7? How do you afford to feed 7 kids out here?
I work 24 hours.
24 hours on the bus. Wow. Okay. Big families, hard workers.
God bless your trip.
Thank you.
23 degrees, frozen streets. School bus doesn't give up. No one can drive out here. We got the buses on our ass right now. What is this? What is this?
Oh, Jesus.
What? Bro, this driving is insane.
Now, I will say this. Bus drivers have started to piss me off, man. Because I teach people how to drive. And it's not just Jewish bus drivers. Bus drivers do whatever the fuck they want. And they are some of the most, abrasive individuals when they're on the road. And for me, it's like, I need you to be less abrasive. You're carrying kids around. And they will sit there and put their buses in the way. And it's like, whoa, we need to get some retraining here. So I'll do a little defense there. I don't know if it's just the Jewish bus drivers. I think it's just bus drivers in general, especially school bus drivers.
Bro, what is this fucking idiot in the school bus?
They're nuts.
Bro, what the fuck? What is this driving? What is this driving?
The way you're driving.
You're trying to kill us out here.
You were driving below the speed limit.
No, we weren't.
25.
You need to learn how to drive. You're gonna get your kids killed in here. You're gonna get these kids killed. Get a responsible school bus driver.
And if you walk through the neighborhood, you'll begin to see the presence of kids everywhere as women give birth to about 7 children on average.
And here's the thing, saying this propaganda, that's a lot of fucking kids, okay? Like I said, you have that many kids, it's going to be hard to raise, even with community help. Even just with, it's, you got to have, everyone there needs to have ridiculously good $1 million jobs. $1 million jobs to have that many kids. Nate, you saying bus driver in Tucson, Arizona are super chill and orderly. What the F is happening there at the East Coast? I mean, listen, you don't want to, wow. Add some space saying, wow, it's so busy out there. It is very busy out there. Casimir Freedom saying they know he's malevolent against them because no one benevolent shows up like he does. So they match his energy. I mean, here's the thing. That is, I think, a little cope right there. That he, again, like I said, he's not only showing the negative interactions. And I think this is where I think it would be fair to say, hey, when the research, he came in with some negative assumptions and he's trying to see what they are. So again, calling this a propaganda video, I think is a little bit of cope on your end.
Massive families, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus kids per family out here. All of these strollers and little kid bikes. Another one. Tons of kids. And then a school bus for those kids. New construction over there, more houses being built, foundation being laid. Some of these houses are quite nice. I imagine there are massive families inside them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Well, I mean, it makes sense how much stuff there is, right? If you're having 10, 9, 8, 7 kids, you're going to have a ton of those little toys. That totally makes sense. And again, if it's just, this is one thing, if it's just their community, I'm not surprised that they're just leaving it all around. There has to be a high trust in this community, right? I think this is one of the positives you could say about this community. It's a very high trust community because they all have the same kind of religious concept that guides them, hence that they're not going to sit there and rob each other. So they can all leave their stuff around.
Wheeled toys for the kids. Can I ask you, how large is your family?
1.
And do most families have, how many kids do they have? Most families?
5, 10.
5, 10? How do they pay for that many kids? You don't know? What is your job?
The Bible.
You read the Bible?
It's very late for me.
For the kids? What is your job? Like, what do you do to make money?
My wife is working.
Okay, your wife works?
I have a lot of time.
What do you do for work? Okay, all right, busy.
So again, we did hear the individual saying there that after they get married, it seems like the men have to go and study hard for 2 years and then they go to work. So it could be another one. Like he can be catching up on a lot of them, right? But they're not specifying kind of something like that. Kashmir Freedom saying it's propaganda because he shows no economic averages or even an individual budget calculation. When families live together and they're elders and they don't spend as much per child, they can afford it. Our ancestors afforded many more children at far less income. And then listen, I said that as well. And I thought the guy had a good point when he said, like, we live very modest, right? And I get that. And I get that. He said we live very modest. But I mean, it is bizarre. And when someone just, we're not used to seeing so much abrasiveness from someone just asking a question, right? That is not a typical reaction to somebody just asking a question. He said he reads the Bible. He didn't say necessarily that he did it for kids. He said he reads the Bible. And in Tyler's defense, Tyler has gotten a bunch of individual people that just said they read the Torah. So we'll see.
Man, thank you.
I'm a family of 6.
Okay, nice.
And I do handiwork.
Okay. Do most people out here work?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. What percentage of this whole town is children? Maybe like half?
No, more than half.
More than half?
Yeah, because if you can have like 15 children in a family, automatically it's much more than half.
And last question for you. Are most families out here on any form of welfare, like Section 8, SNAP, Medicaid, housing assistance?
Most families?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so, not as far as I know.
Are you?
I have Medicaid, but
okay.
I have my own business and I make my money fair and square.
Respect. Okay, we got the
So again, like that, the people commenting, that right there, it's not necessarily, that wasn't a negative interaction. The individual's a handyman. He's on Medicaid because he has a ton of kids, but I thought he gave a fair answer. Casimir Freedom saying this is a very typical reaction in a community expecting malevolent infiltrators. And the thing is, too, just looking at it that way, Casimir Freedom, you're then setting yourself up to be very abrasive, right? And you're only going to continue with a negative connotation of you. If you're more forthcoming about the community, that's fine. Here's the thing, and I understand having that kind of defensiveness, but I think that you're looking at this again from a defensive lens. And I think that you're seeing some of the interviews. Tyler could have easily cut out a whole bunch of these interviews where you're hearing individuals saying that they're working, they have their jobs, they're doing this. And he could have made this video significantly more negative if he wanted to, because I could imagine he's had a ton more interactions than what he's just showing. At some space saying they really look so simple people. Yeah, they definitely live a very simple lifestyle. You can see that they live a very simple and humble lifestyle. Nachi saying every community is worth investigating in this welfare bloat state. If they're above board, why worry? And I will say that too. We are in New York State. New York State is a very welfare heavy state. So I feel like every community should be fine tooth combed. I think that could be fair.
Crown Sterling right here. Hello. Can I interview as a local business owner? I'm trying to ask people about their business out here and how life is in Kiryas Yol.
Which kind of stores do you take?
I just want to interview anyone who owns a store out here.
Where is it going?
On YouTube.
It's working now?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No? Okay. Oh man. Okay, so you don't want to be interviewed.
Delete this file.
I cannot delete it, but I will walk away. Are you sure you don't want to be interviewed?
I can sue you.
You can sue me?
I can sue you. I can sue you for just saying that I don't want to be interviewed. I mean, I don't think that's true. Casimir Freedom saying, I'm being a realist. When Peter Santanello wanted to get into their community, he found the fixer and got people to lower their guard. I mean, that's fine, but when you're getting somebody that is necessarily a fixer and lowering their guard, you're then going to have a little more practiced responses. Sometimes this type of investigative journalism does take popping in on people. I think that's also part of it, where a little bit of the act of surprise sometimes does get to be the people that do open up are a little more real about some things.
What? You went from this to this? You went nuclear. What?
Yeah,
he's gonna sue me. Come on now. See this driving. My God, this terrible driving skill is a testament to the dense population. My God. It's a fascinating way of life.
But despite 40% of the population living beneath the poverty line, I did not have to worry about getting shot or mugged out here by gangsta drug dealers on the corner of every block. In terms of random violence, I think this is the safest place I have ever filmed at.
And that is something to be said. And I do feel like that is something of massive value. And I think we heard the individual earlier, the elder gentleman, that was like, we don't bother anybody. We have no crime. We have no essay, no grape, nothing like that here. And it's very true. He's being able to walk through. He's being able to ask his questions. No one's accosting him, nothing like that. It's fantastic. At some space saying the real thing is there's nothing to investigating because it's legal to earn amounts of money and still be eligible, especially when someone has 10 children. Here's the thing, and while you can take that frame, I think it is also fair to want to ask questions and find out how the community is making their money and if the whole situation is on the up and up. I don't think that there's anything at all. Casimir Freedom saying, where's the investigation? The Somali fraud videos included actual papers showing how many children and funding was supposed to be there. In the second video, shell companies were revealed, fake fleets. This is just asking people and getting it on file. That's all this is. He showed in the beginning the statistics that I think it was between 30 and 40% were beneath the poverty line. So we went with that basis, and that they also have a ton of kids, and that they're essentially a very theological based community, and that they generally only have Hasidic Jews there. So you can dislike the investigation, but I don't think it's not to say it's not investigative here. Nietzsche saying also, MMT has destroyed the single household income for a supermajority of multi-kid homes. A good amount of Americans would want that investigated. Yeah, because here's the thing too, if they're having all these kids and it's all going on taxpayer dime, that is tough to cope with. That you have a whole community that is very heavily on it. Now, again, like I said, I don't see the same thing you do, Casimir, and I think we're seeing this. I think you're trying to look at it a little more in a negative lens. I think that what he's doing here is the individuals that are talking about what's actually going on in the community are helping out this outlook. I'm not going to lie.
Is this a flip phone vending machine? Flip phone
That's
vending
dope.
machine? Wow.
Instead of liquor stores, they had kosher phone vending
That's
machines
really cool.
and public safety security force.
Is this funded by the taxpayers, this public safety, all these trucks and whatnot? Yes. Okay, so this is tax...
I have no time to sit on the phone now.
Oh, you're busy, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, of course. Of course you are. Thanks.
And volunteer firefighters and EMS.
Can you show me what's going on in here? Tell me what you guys do.
So basically, we provide coverage for the fire service for the village of Kirchhoff and the town of Palm Tree.
Okay. Are you a volunteer firefighter?
This is all volunteer fire.
All volunteer work.
Fire department.
And how fast can you guys respond to emergencies, given how tiny the town is?
We have a 90-second
90
response.
seconds?
Yes.
That's, again, but this isn't necessarily a negative thing. Listen, I think we're taking this very negative. This isn't a negative thing. He's also showing a community that works hard together, right? A 90-second response time from your volunteer fire company is fucking fantastic. That is not necessarily a negative thing. So I think here's the thing. If you want to look at this as fully negative, you can, right? You could look at this as a propaganda video, a negative, evil video, but then you can also understand and take out that there's a bunch of these interviews that he's doing that aren't showing this community in a bad light. You may disagree with some things still, but it's not fully showing them in a negative light. Kashmir Freedom Riddle, if I work and pay $30,000 in involuntary taxes, how much can I recover back? If you pay that much in involuntary, I don't know, probably not a lot. Like I said, I'm not a tax guy. Kashmir, if you have that, go for it. At some space saying the thing that he brought up about 93% of people on welfare is from 2014, 12 years ago. So here's the thing. Fine. Why not research that? That's the thing. If that's from 12 years ago, then why is it not okay for him to go in and do some investigation, talk to people and find out if that's not the case anymore? Based off of a lot of anecdotal interviews, which he's doing with a bunch of random people. And we're only 26 minutes out of a 40-minute video here, which means we're probably going to get a ton more interviews.
Okay, cool. So anyone, even non-Jewish people, you guys will arrive?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. Just for the whole community?
Yeah.
Okay, nice, man. Some volunteer work. There's some lessons we could learn. Communal living, helping each other out, looking out for each other.
They even had their own kosher AAA.
So we got the Chevy Suburban, we got a pickup truck, and let me show you the
This is
equipment.
like Jewish AAA or what?
Basically.
But it's community funded, right?
Yes.
Who pays for the trucks?
We have a couple of sponsorships. Collision on the Go is
Okay.
one of our
That's
sponsors.
a local company here?
Yes.
In the area? So, for instance, I do not have to have a AAA membership if I live in Kiryas Shoel.
No, you can have our number. We got everything.
See, that's actually friggin' awesome, dude. That is actually awesome that they have their own little community AAA thing right there. I wish that more communities would have something like this. Kashmir Freedom is saying, dude, come on, X is overflowing with people hating on Jews, and he's painting it all as a funded, externally marketing it as Jew versus Gentile. Listen, there's a pocket on X of the dumbasses that are, and the thing is, they're hating on Israel more than Jews, and this community hates Israel too. They will probably agree with most of the people that are hating on Israel. You're always going to have a pocket, Kashmir, of people that hate Jews. It's unfortunate throughout all time. But if this community is now untouchable, if you're saying that just because it's a fully Hasidic Jew community, it is untouchable, no one can go in there, no one can ask questions, then they could do whatever the hell they want, right? That's fine. He's getting some cool stuff here. He's getting information out to the public that we don't know and that we could learn from as communities. Kashmir Freedom saying the answer, I get to recover every tax dollar I paid. People deserve to pay zero. All aid should be voluntary only. Zero socialism. I agree with that. Listen, taxes are theft. I'm fully on with you. The only taxes we should pay are for defense, essentially. That's all I want, is pay for my military. Your job as a federal government is to defend me, period. Listen, I'm with you on that. Zero socialism. Add some space. Wow, they have big sponsors. Yeah, it's pretty sick. They have sponsors.
All the equipment, everything what we need.
Even for the Gentiles?
Whatever you need, you call us, we're coming
So you guys
out.
are helping anyone who calls.
You call us, we go out.
Okay, we're hopping on a call right now.
So that's fucking awesome, right? Two areas, two groups, the volunteer fire, the volunteer, yeah, they're for the community, but they help anyone. That's the way it should be, right? That's the way it should be. Caspian Freedom is saying, no, the pocket is saying Jews are draining America, and they are showing Hasidic people in all the memes, not Israelis. Well, that's ignorance, and I agree with you. Listen, Caspian, I'm with you. I agree with you that is pure ignorance on a lot of people's part, that they don't know the difference, right? And I think it's retarded either way to be hating on either group of people, whether they are Hasidic or whether they are Israeli. It doesn't, to me, that doesn't make a difference. And maybe you could be mad at the framing, but then when you watch the video, to call this a full-on propaganda video, especially with the things we're watching now, I think is a little bit you wanting to see what you want to see on this.
See how this works. Thanks for having me. Hey, what's the call?
What was a flat tire?
Just a community member.
Yeah, just someone called.
Okay, there it is. Okay, so he's already on the job. He got here faster than us. Young volunteer, quick to the work.
That's awesome.
It would be pretty convenient to get a flat tire, call up the city, and they just help you out.
That would be fantastic.
Imagine that world. When you live the same, you look the same, you pray the same, you can do cool shit like that. But at the Curious Shoal Volunteer EMS, you gotta give respect to all these guys doing volunteer work for the community. Can I pop in?
Sure.
Okay.
And here you go. Here's the food packages. Everybody gets a package for that. Some little.
The cool thing is these volunteers are fucking proud, man. Like you could see, like they're actually incredibly happy that he's over here showing the things that they do. They are proud to be volunteers. They're proud to be volunteer fire, AAA, EMS, and being able to help their community, which is the way it should be, right? And I think a lot of our public servants are volunteers and things like that. Some of them look at it as just a job, but I think others are taking it as a lot of pride. Casimir Freedom. I believe investigations are important. You show the averages, you show specific fraud, and you get down the numbers in each case, how much money are paid in taxes and recovered. But not all investigation is only for that, right? He came on the basis of looking at some numbers, and he's trying to find it out by asking questions. Not every investigation, at least to me in terms of like journalism, needs to be hard numbers, everything like that. Sometimes a man on the street also does help. It's not the everything, but I think that's okay. You added right here how much are paid and recovered in taxes. He shows welfare. I mean, the thing is though, Kashmir, there could be welfare fraud, all right? There could be that. And I think that's okay. Add some space saying we need it everywhere. We do. We 100% need it everywhere.
Chips inside.
Yeah. Right, this is beautiful community unification here and altruism. I like it. And we got to take notes, man. We got to do that for ourselves, for everyone else in America. Take notes. This is beautiful, but it requires some selflessness. It requires some additional work. You're missing hours with the family and loved ones and kids to help other people. They have a bigger picture approach here, and they look at the community as a whole. How many school buses are here?
The town, over 100.
Over 100.
Don't want them here to sound private.
Wait, but isn't it public property?
No, it's not public.
No, this is a privately owned lot with publicly funded buses?
Yes.
Privately owned buses.
Oh, it's privately owned buses too.
Privately owned buses too.
And you guys just purchased the buses yourselves?
Self, yeah.
Like who individually? Is it the rabbi?
Oh, the rabbi buys the bus.
Okay, the rabbi buys the bus. Am I stupid? Then who buys?
I mean, this is the first fully abrasive guy that I am seeing. Caveat ties, Bears lost. Yes, I'm happy the Bears lost. No Caleb Williams, damn it. But this is the fully first, like some of the people gave cold shoulder. This is the first fully abrasive guy that I've seen. There's the other guy that did say he was going to sue him. That guy was pretty abrasive, and that guy was kind of funny. But this guy, are you stupid? I actually like that. I like this guy. Based.
Who's the fucking buses then? If it's a stupid question.
Company, the boss. Right?
Well, who's the boss of the town? Of what?
This is a privately owned company.
Sure. I see. Is it mostly private schools out here? Is it a mix of private and public schools? 99% private. And of course, kosher soup.
So here's the thing, that makes sense. 99% private schools. A lot of the private schools will hire their own buses. Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Supermarkets maintained by an army of Mexican laborers all over town.
Just keep in mind everything's kosher. Excuse me. Do you guys take EBT?
We do.
Like, do most people come in here and use EBT? Yeah. Okay. What percentage of people would you say use EBT for their groceries here? 100%. 100%? Wow. He said 100%.
So here's the thing. You can call that propaganda all you want, but that's just asking questions of the people that work there, right? And 100% of the people using EBT in a community, that's a problem. That is not something that is tenable. That's not something good, okay? That is a problem. Casimir Freeman saying, even in the Minnesota case, these investigations omit the main problem. The Fed faucet is the problem. The massive theft is the effect. Yes, 100% Casimir. I agree. Anytime the federal government gets involved, things get fucked up. At some space, I don't like how he talks to people, confronting them. They're working, they're busy, they don't have time to explain everything. They just want to go on with their day. That is fair. That is absolutely fair that some people are abrasive because they just want to do what they want to do. I mean, he is being a little confrontational too. And again, he's trying to make a YouTube video. I don't disagree with that. Casimir Freedom saying people think Fed should investigate and find all the fraud, but no one is talking about ending the Fed. It's like hiring the thief to end theft. Preach, Casimir. Preach on that. We need to absolutely. I was talking to my brother, and Casimir, and over at some space, my brother David is with me every once in a while, and I invite you both to, I would love for you guys to both subscribe. And, the show is often we come and we talk a bunch of politics and a little bit of everything as well. But I 100% agree with you. I have talked to my brother David about, I think we need to basically end all of the, different executive agencies. They're all fucked. And all they do is they cause us problems with making rules that are essentially laws. And I'm with you. Preach, Casimir. Caveat is saying more private schools are needed. Yes. Yeah, somewhat, as long as they don't pull from the same education pool that comes from regular colleges, because then you're still getting woke ass education even in private schools. They're not the safest zones unless they're very hardcore vetted. At some space, 100% doesn't make sense. You can see his smile. He's a young dude. And I think the young dude was just fucking with him. And I honestly think too, on top of that, it didn't seem like Tyler took it too bad. They were kind of being smart asses. And sometimes guys measure dicks. It doesn't matter what race, creed, religion. You measure some dicks every once in a while. And that guy was trying to see if Tyler would come back, and Tyler came back, and then they got the conversation. Sometimes it's just dude talk. At some space, I subscribe. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate that, man. Or woman. I don't know what you are. It's 2026. I'm not assuming. All right, let's keep rolling.
What percentage would you say? What would be your estimate?
50, but not 100.
Because 100's too much, right? What percentage of people here use EBT for their groceries?
35%.
A little bit difficult to conclude what to take away from that. The question is,
I think it's tough when you're asking individual people too. I think it is very tough. Like, he's asking random people, and that you're not always going to get the same answers from everyone, because they're all living, even though they live in the same community and they're very homogenous lifestyle, they all are very different situations. It's not all the same thing. At some space, it's my first time on your live. I appreciate that. I'm happy you caught me. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope that it's good. Caveat ties saying, thank you guys. Thank you, Caveat. Thank you, Nate. Caveat and Nate are regulars here, so that's awesome. I appreciate you guys. Casimir Freeman, maybe we're the fools for not having 5 children each and taking back our tax money via EBT. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's, you're not, you're cooking with something there, Casimir. More kids, the better. I'm not mad about that. But I would like to, before we do that, I want to have better jobs, because I also don't want to be living that modest of a life. I like having my luxuries. I don't have many. I live a fairly, middle-class life, but I do like them. I don't want to go and live as modest a life as the Hasidic Jews do. Caveat tie saying 100% is easy to tally. I doubt that's true. Yeah, I doubt that's true.
Are a lot of these big families dependent on the welfare state to survive? And then the secondary question is, do they work?
Yes, I work here.
I know, but do the people that live here work here?
Yeah, my work is for the people that live here.
Okay, so that's what I've heard. A lot of business owners. Heard some people do study the Torah for a couple of years.
But if they do that, many times
their wives are working. That's what I've learned too.
And a synagogue around every street's corner so the men could study the Torah while their wives went out and worked.
People are studying, praying. Beautiful. Wow. Okay, I think I finally made it.
Honestly, though, I don't hate that they're studying the Torah a ton. I really don't. I don't hate that. I would like that, more people that say they're Christian at least read their Bible. Um, I'm not a great Christian. I don't go to church all the time, but I do read my Bible. I'm not a Bible thumper by any which means, but I mean, again, like I said in the beginning, the scariest thing to a people that don't have faith is someone that does, because they don't understand how people could be so faithful and believe something that is difficult, right? So I'm not mad about them all praying. It's pretty dope. Add some space. Elon Musk is saving every year some money for having, I'm not sure, about 10 or 20 children. Yeah, Elon's out of his damn mind. At least the Hasidic Jews are having it with the same woman, the 10 children, which God bless those fucking women. 10 kids. Woof. That's a lot. Watching my wife give birth to 2 was a massive amount. But I mean, it's difficult. Elon is nuts. Caveat saying 35% is a lot too. It is a lot. Add some space. By the way, look at the synagogue. There's maybe 20 people when there is 4,500 residents. That was only in one room. He was walking around, and it's still a lot, right? Even in a religious community, 4,500, it's still a lot. Kashmir Freedom documentary idea: walking into an MBA seating university training ground, asking the men if they work, or no, better idea, walking into a university and asking if they go to class, because they are technically on scholarship to go to class. I think that would be even better, because that would show that they're on scholarship and getting paid they're going in. But now with the NIL, that's a little bit more of a moot point, because they're getting paid anyway a lot of times.
Synagogue? Synagogue? Okay. Let's just say hi. It's a synagogue. Can I see it?
But here's the thing too. I will say, there's this is only 4 people, but when you walk into a church, you're not seeing a bunch of the community in the church. You're seeing maybe a few of the people that work there, the priests during the day, during their times of worship, they are in heavily, right? But I guess this is the difference between these different communities, where their worship times are very different.
How do people afford to have such big families out here?
Oh, this is a problem,
What
struggle? Yeah.
People struggle?
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
What do people do for jobs? Because I've noticed a ton of the Mexicans are working the retail stores.
Yeah.
What do the Jewish people do for work?
They own the business.
How do they get to own the businesses?
I have no idea. We could say.
People work by themselves.
Okay.
They work hard, they drive buses, they are teachers, they're employees by companies. And people build up companies by themselves. And people build up their businesses by their own. You work from 9 to 5, a lot of people work more. You work hard. You
Okay,
get money.
I see. It's
again, he's getting some common answers here, and I'm not mad about it. But here's the thing: he's asking the questions, and these are individuals that I respect that he's blurring out their faces. They probably asked to not be included. So Nachi's saying, no, they aren't. Carson Beck graduated 2 years ago. He's an employee at Miami University. So literally every basketball player is working, technically, I guess. Technically a contractor to Miami University, as well as every student athlete catching NIL, which is insane. I think that colleges being able to give NIL is such a joke.
2:59. Why aren't people at work?
A lot of people are at work.
But
how
you
many
guys aren't
people
at
are
work.
living here?
Yeah.
These are all teenagers.
I see. Okay, these are young kids.
Young kids.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
Okay, so do you work?
I'm in college.
Okay, where do you go to college?
Here.
Oh, here. Okay, in town.
Yes.
You have your own college. Do all the adults go to work?
Most, I will say.
Most?
90%.
Okay, do people here survive off of welfare?
Not true.
It's not true.
No.
And again, like I said, listen, you could say, again, yes, his angle on the question was to imply like a little socialist that's not doing manual labor is nefarious. Listen, if you've seen outside of this video, Tyler Oliveira's videos are not social space. He's trying to get into something here. But like I said, my point with this is you can dislike the angle and the way he's taking the question, but he has no need to include this in the video if his whole goal was to show that this talent is only on welfare and they're ripping everyone off.
Everyone have to work, you have to get money, but when you have a lot of kids, like you have 8 kids, you can also get benefits like...
I see. Like the official number for like Medicaid, and it was like 93%. That number is not real.
You can look it up.
And like you said, it's 2014, so it's very different. It could be very different now. Like you said, at some space, that you could be in a very different situation since 2014. Kashmir Freedom, how do people own a construction business? They organize the work. Listen, again, you could be mad at the context there, but at some space, they can't do manual labor. They have their own business. They have huge families. I mean, but they can go. And the point that he's asking, though, is that he doesn't see any of the Jewish community people when he walks into the grocery store actually working. And you would imagine that maybe some of the individuals would actually be employees there. They're not all business owners. The town's not very big. And that 45,000 people, they're not all business owners. You know what I mean? So that's, maybe you take 25,000 kids and 20,000 are people. 20,000 people are not owning businesses in a small town like that. So it's fair to figure out what the hell they're doing.
It's not 93%.
It will say 93%.
Yeah, check it up now.
But I've already looked it up. I know what it'll say. Yeah. They'll say 93%.
Where does it say?
On Google. I don't know if that's real, though. That's why I'm asking. Yeah.
I don't know, because I know a lot of people and most people have a lot of kids, and even if they work,
they're
qualified.
They qualify. Yeah. Okay, we got some knowledge just now. He says there's some misconceptions about the place. Is this where you make the iconic fur hats? Hey, let's see it. Can I try it on? Okay. Thank you. Whoa. It's heavy. On its spins, too.
That's friggin' awesome. That is friggin' awesome, man. That he's getting to wear the fur. And here's the thing. He's also showing that this community is not... Again, he had some abrasiveness in the beginning from the people, but a lot of these individuals are okay. That they're wanting to show off the things that they do. Kashmir Freedom. This happens when you walk into a smaller startup. The owner would be the first employee. That's true. That's true. The owner is the first employee there. Nietzsche saying that Tyler mentioned what brought him to this episode. I did miss the first 20 minutes of context. Essentially, that he saw that there was a town that has a bunch of individuals, a high percent of individuals that live below the poverty line, and it is a specifically Hasidic Jewish community. And he was going in to investigate if that level of poverty is true, how many are living on public assistance, and if they are they being shiesty and taking advantage of the system.
For $1,500 USD at the cheapest price. Thank you guys for showing me. 8K? $8,000?
8,000. Oh
my God. As I was interviewing people, this dude tried to revoke my cameraman's First Amendment right to film him on a public sidewalk. It is a struggle getting B-roll out here.
Hey, it's illegal.
It isn't.
What?
It isn't.
Hello.
Howdy.
What is the pictures about?
Just feel like filming.
Filming what?
Just everything.
What do you mean everything?
What are you recording here? Because I feel like it.
Why?
This is common. You see this a lot with people that are recording. I've seen this all over TikTok and stuff. On a public sidewalk, you have no right to privacy. So if someone's filming you, you could just walk on by them, but they have the right to film you on public, anywhere in public there.
Does it feel like it?
For whom are you recording it?
Does it feel like it?
And where will you post it?
I don't know, wherever my heart desires.
You took pictures of me personally.
I'm happy.
I want to know where you're going to post it.
Everywhere.
Because I don't want to be...
I'm sorry.
You walked into my...
I do kind of like how the other guy rolls up behind him. Like, honestly, they roll deep. You have to respect a community that rolls deep, man. That's friggin' awesome. Like, I respect that they roll deep. It's not a bad thing.
Shot, so...
No. I was before across the street and you pointed the camera on me.
It's not a big deal. You're in public.
And then we began debating as to whether or not Curious Joel took out more money from the system than it gave back.
Why do you think that most people have your welfare?
The more kids you have, the more money you'd get if you're in those programs?
It's not because people are defrauding. When you have larger families, you can qualify in a bigger percentage.
100%.
Take out statistic and say, oh, this person has 6 kids. Look how much grants they receive from the government. But if you look at their expenses, then you see it's a different ball game. It just gives you, helps you to survive. It pushes through. How much money Curious Joel community saves for the state and the federal government by the fact that we have private schools.
So this reads, yes, Curious Joel's private schools receive significant public funding primarily through the local Curious Joel School District, which uses tax dollars and federal funds for services like special education, busing, and supplies that are shared with private school students, creating a complex system where public money supports private religious education. While private schools don't directly get government funds for religious instruction, federal mandates require districts in high poverty areas like Curious Joel to provide services to all eligible students, blurring the lines. I don't know exactly where that's from. It might just be like a AI thing.
We have big business people that pay taxes and they contribute a lot. We have a lot of charity that's helping out people, and also the fact that
a tiny Hasidic district won't explain how it's spending $94 million in relief funds from the 74. This is in 2023, so this is obviously during COVID.
Study Torah, which in big part includes you should be honest and stay away from crime. So thank God that the crime rate is very low. So that also saves a lot of money from police enforcement and from jails.
But I noticed you guys have that private security, which is taxpayer funded, right?
But that's paid from our taxes. It's a village.
Assuming you pay taxes though, right?
Do you think someone here doesn't pay property tax?
Yeah, for sure. Renters.
I'm a renter.
You're a renter?
Yes. And my landlord 1 year increased me the rent because the tax went up. How can he afford it? Because I pay him rent.
Well, yeah, you're arguing the cost is indirectly turned over to you as the renter.
It's directly.
Let's say I had 10 kids and I made between.
So, I mean, listen, this is a fine debate to have. This is, like I said, you can disagree with this framing and how he's asking it, but I do appreciate and applaud this individual that's attempting to give straight answers and attempting to kind of talk out the community and things like that. Add some space, 94 million as a joke, my town where I live. I think the budget is 60 million for maybe 1,000 kids, but that was 94 million in just relief funds in general. I don't know if it was for the kids. I think that might have been from just public relief during COVID overall. I don't know if it was education specifically. Correct me if that is.
60 to 90K a year as a household, then I could get almost $13,000 in cash benefits and pay no state income tax and no federal tax. So I would get $13,000 in cash, which I could then pay to, let's say, a landlord. Let's call it $2,000. That's half the year paid.
Don't get the tax credit per child. You
do though.
Tax credit, but once you have 3 or 4 children, you don't get more if you have more children.
That's not true. The tax credit is multiplied by how many children you have, and there's no limit to the children you can have.
It's a formula, and you take into account that someone has.
So that's I don't know the answer to that. Like I'm watching this blind with the rest of you guys. This is my first time seeing this video. I don't know who's right between that individual and Tyler. I don't know if the tax credit does get capped at a few kids or if it gets multiplied by the kids now. It changes so fucking often. Kashmir Freedom, the release fund should be compared to the cost of forcible shutdown, but there also should have to show where it's going. If it's my taxpayer money going to a random community, I do want to see what you are spending it on. But yeah, no, the forcible shutdown. We should be getting compensated for that as well.
13 kids, and they pay tuition, they pay grocery, they feed their children, and they have...
I'm arguing a lot of the taxpayers are paying for their children in the form of SNAP, EBT, and healthcare in the form of Medicaid.
I got it, and I want to answer you.
Yeah.
Now, you make this budget, figure out how much this costs, and now you say that you call a cash benefit, a tax return of benefit of $13,000. This doesn't cover 10 children. It's just a help.
But when you supplement that with the healthcare is covered via Medicaid, you have SNAP and EBT that helps cover groceries, if not the full amount for the groceries.
Have SNAP. The SNAP maybe would give $1,000 a month for a family, but you go in the grocery, check the prices, you can't afford, you can't feed 10 people plus a father and mother, 12 people from $1,000 a month. So
listen, I respect this guy for coming in there and having this conversation. And I think one thing is, like I said, we could look at this video in a few ways. Tyler is asking the questions very plainly. And I also appreciate asking the questions very plainly, seeing the problems that you believe are there and just bluntly putting it out there instead of trying to pussyfoot around it. And this guy has been really forthcoming and has had some solid answers to answer it. Now, I don't know if I fully agree with his answers, but let's see how this finishes up.
Just a push, like it's a help. It's not covering.
That's true.
So, and also, me personally, I told you I'm working in the healthcare industry.
Yeah.
I don't have Medicaid. I have insurance by my employer.
Agreed.
If you take all business people, successful business people, just from Curious Joel, their taxes covers everything that we take back. There's someone, Kiva Klein. He's a big developer. I'm sure he pays a lot of taxes. You see over there, Appstone. They're compensating with their tax payments, and then they're compensating with they have charity that they help out a lot of people here. The Jewish people that you claim, they're employing like over 1,000 people. They have a big building in Manhattan. They pay a lot of property tax. They have warehouses in New Jersey, and they're very...
These are very good points that he's making. The only question is, I always have, is the charity part, right? But the rich people all do this. It's not just rich Jewish people. I'm not going to tack it onto them. They all have some sort of charity that they pay a lot. They get a ton of tax write-offs. And again, that's not just rich Jews. That is rich everybody. But this guy's making some good points here.
Fair company, they're honest. And even though they are the job providers.
So you'd say overall, the Hasidic Jewish community is a financial positive.
Contributing to the United States.
He was basically arguing that the minority of extremely wealthy Jewish businessmen that employ a ton of people elsewhere easily compensates for the amount of money residents here took out of the system in various forms of welfare.
How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Doing well. It's a little cold.
Yeah, I know. What's going on?
Nothing much.
No?
How can I help you?
I was just called to talk to you. So people are a little nervous to be recording with the masks and stuff. So
It's cold. The mask stays on, you know?
I get it. You know what I mean? I just got called here, so I got to come by and
for sure
do my due diligence. You know what
100%,
I mean?
sir.
Okay. So what are you recording for?
Just personal stuff.
I get you. It's public, so I know you can.
If you've never been to a community like this, right?
Sure.
You're unknown.
Sure.
It's unusual activity. Suspicious for you to have a camera at people's faces.
The thing is, and these people are saying, and I get it, they're trying to explain to him, he's a cameraman. He understands this. But at the same time, he's allowed to do it. He's fully allowed to do it.
Wherever they go.
You guys are going to be upset that they're here, right? And you guys are going to call us over here. Just don't engage with them. You know what I mean? If that's what you guys
no one's forced to get...
Some people are going to get upset that they're here.
Well, welcome to the United States of America.
I don't want to get recorded.
This is the United States of America. Then just walk away. Just walk away. Jesus Christ. Okay, this is some bullshit, you know it. You don't get extra privileges. No. This is bullshit, you know it.
Yeah, they're going to be upset and calling about you guys. And you guys don't want us harassing you.
Well, why would you harass us if we're exercising our First Amendment, right?
Because you follow people.
Exactly. It's a rhetorical question. There's no means to harass us because we're doing nothing wrong.
No. Okay. There was a terrorist attack in Australia Sunday. You come in front of synagogues with a covered face. People are
I get the face.
No, I'm answering his question, but he didn't ask you the question, right? He was talking to me right now.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
What I told you too
Sure.
was if you guys are going to call about each other and have these kind of interactions, right? No, we had the fine conversation. Just leave each other alone.
All right, this is excessive. Obviously.
I mean, listen, that cop initially was in the wrong. I'm not harassing you. I get you can't harass. You can't harass someone for doing their First Amendment right there. Add some space. The sad thing is, one rich guy can save billions on taxes with all the loopholes. When the poor people just want to make ends meet, they may get a couple of dollars. 100%. 100%. I will say this. The loopholes, while they are fucked up for us at the bottom, and we dislike the rich getting richer, especially through skeevy stuff, they do also employ a shit ton of people. They do also put a boatload into the economy. The taxes they do pay fund 95. I think it's like something like up the 1% pay like 70%, 80% of taxes. So yes, the rich get richer, and we all are a little envious in some way. I'm not envious. My goal is to become one of them, to be quite honest. But at the same time, I understand the sentiment. And you see it even within this community. You've heard how many people saying in this video, we're struggling. And 100%, that is true, but that's true with a lot of places. And the other guy's saying that they're wealthy individuals give back. And between what they pay and all the up and the employees, that they help out the community.
Obviously, we can talk to anyone who wants to talk.
So this is the equivalent of a doctor. Come in here, get yourself checked out. But is this a hospital or like a doctor clinic?
It's a medical facility, so there's lots of like doctor's offices. Okay.
Is this mostly for the Jewish community? Do I have to be Jewish to get health care?
You do not have to be Jewish.
Okay. Are most people here on like Medicaid?
A lot of patients are.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
She said a lot of patients are on Medicaid, which is in conflict with what they're telling me in the synagogue.
And they're having...
So again, it's anecdotal stuff. It all depends on where he went to, if that place is specifically, if there's other medical facilities there. So you have to take, when you're watching these types of things, these types of documentaries, yes, they're pointed. Yes, they have a goal. They all do, right? I wouldn't go as far to call it propaganda like Casimir did, and you're free to do that, Casimir. But at the same time, you have to understand there is going to be a goal. He walked into one medical facility and asked about Medicaid. That could be a medical facility that takes care of all that stuff, right? So there are those in certain communities. Nate G saying tax law is fucked up no matter. I don't hold it against them, but as a middle class salesman, I'm taxed at 39%. Oh yeah, listen, it is fucked up. Again, I'm in New York State. I keep none of my money. Casimir, for you, man. Rich people and billionaires should pay zero taxes. No one should pay taxes. The evil are the federal state contracts. I'm with you. Add some space. He just makes it sound negative. Listen, he has a goal. And I'm not arguing that Tyler doesn't have a goal here. So let's keep going.
So many kids, Curious Joel's population doubled from 2010 to 2024.
How many kids on average does each family have out here?
Between 2 and really unpredictable.
Like 2 to 10?
Unpredictable?
Yeah.
How many do you have?
3.
3. Okay, that's pretty small for out here, right?
I'm still in the younger age.
How old are you?
27.
Okay, young man. What do people do for work out here?
There's all kind of work. There's a lot of educated people. There's everything. Anyways, I gotta go work. Thank you so much.
Okay, what do you do for work, by the way?
I'm doing a few things. I'm driving buses. I'm working in a mechanic shop. I'm working a lot in the office.
That's a lot of jobs.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about people living in a theocratic, ethnic enclave, then look no further. Curious Joel is an example of that, and then some. When people are talking about Dearborn, Michigan this, Dearborn, Michigan that, this is an example of only Jews living here, and a lot of them are tapping into welfare benefits.
So that is the video here. That is the video. And again, take what we want from it, right? I did not think that it, as Casimir, as you put it, I'm not going to call it propaganda. Nachi saying Casimir, amazing point. I totally agree. No income tax in South Dakota. Quiet, Rollin. Add some space saying, wow, 3 jobs. He is hustling. So real quick, what I took out of that before I jump out of here, because I didn't expect the video breakdown to be everything. Casimir Freedom. Yeah, listen, he had an angle. Listen, he went in to investigate the welfare. And in the end, there was a lot of claim of individuals on Medicaid, individuals using EBT, a lot of large families saying that. So there is a lot of that use going on there. Now, what I took away from it was that although that is going on, that there are a lot of people also working. They have their own religious theories in terms of when the gentlemen have to go and study and things like that. But I do think that, the increase in kids is insane, that they've doubled. That's a lot. The number of kids that they're having is massive. And if they all stay in that community, that can eventually become a problem if they all keep on having 15 kids. 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 kids. That can become a problem, and it can become a drain on the system. It is something that we do have to look out for. Now, do I think that there's any fraud going on there? There was nothing from that video that indicated that there was any fraud going on. You did see a lot of individuals saying that they are struggling. So not only that they're just living modestly, but they are struggling to go paycheck to paycheck. I think a lot was dispelled in that, early in the video, he's asking a lot of guys and they're saying they don't work. And it ends up being that they were the ones that were in their hardcore studying Torah time. That's what I took from it, that they were in those 2 years post-marriage or something, or in that point where they have to do hardcore studying. But you got so many individuals that after that, and especially after the beginning, we're saying, no, we work. We go to work. We have large families, so we get benefits because of our large families, but we work. We go into different jobs, and they got a bunch of different jobs: billboards, brokerage, construction, teaching, mechanics. He showed the awesome side of the volunteer. He showed that, just the general community. And I thought he had some really good conversations. Nate's saying, if you're familiar with Tyler, he's not a nefarious actor, in my opinion. He went to Cancer Alley in Mexico where they worship Coca-Cola. He has interests that other people have too. Casper Freedom saying, we live in a death cult that is not reproducing. I have no children right now. That is a failure. I was poorly raised in that respect and swindled by this city. I made mistakes. That is my fault. Hey, Casimir, here's the thing. It's never too late. I don't know how old you are, but it's never too late to go and start having kids and having a family and things like that. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. But overall, my impression of the video is, did Tyler have a slant? Was he trying to investigate whether or not? And in the end, his investigation was, is there a ton of welfare use? Is there a ton of use of social programs? And in the end, yes, right? He got most answers from people that anywhere between 35 to 50 to 90% are on Medicaid, using SNAP, EBT, getting some sort of benefit, right? So we did see that. So he proved this point there, but do I think that there is massive fraud? No, they just have a lot of kids and they know how to use that system. So at some space, I think there's a difference from Minnesota and over there. I think over here, he's concerned the individual's taking out money of the system. Over there, one person makes millions of daycare. Yeah, I think just his concern was to see if that there was a drain on the system. And I think currently you can potentially argue that there might be, right? That there may be a drain on the system with all the individuals taking in. And he didn't crunch hardcore numbers in seeing economically if there was a benefit or if there was a negative. He didn't do that. But he did show that there is a lot of welfare, that there is a lot of poverty, but he also showed the good in the community. I think he showed that there was a lot of individuals and stuff. So caveat to saying, or get yourself involved with the youth. Yes, pour your life experiences as a mentor. That's awesome that you could do that. Nate saying, I had 4 to lift the average. I'm doing my part. You certainly did. Casimir saying, I'm saying this to point out that his angle that having children is nefarious, that one must be a net taxpayer is ridiculous. He directly compared this to Minnesota fraud. He was showing that there's a potential for it. I don't think he said exactly that it is. He said that we're concerned with the community of just having homogenous Somalis, and that's another example of very homogenous things. But I do think that when you have those homogenous groups, or any group that are just huddling together, that you should go and look in, because sometimes there is a lot of money funneling going on there. So that's I think it's fair to look at that. Caveat is saying, I stayed at the old average of 3. I got 2. But overall, like I said, he had an angle. I think he did a fair job of showing and talking about his point, but I also think that he did show the community, had individuals that they had some decent points, that they were able to defend their positions. And I'm curious if he ever gets a follow up with some of the true community leaders, because I didn't see him, many of the true, any of the wealthy people engage him. They probably weren't there. They're probably actually at their businesses. So, but yeah, no, I don't think that this is the hit job that people are making it out to be. I think it's potentially framed in that way, but when you watch the video, I don't think you come away from that they are committing fraud. I don't see that. Can they potentially be a major drain on the system? 100%. 100%. Add some space, but if they don't use public schools, each kid saves, I think, around 30 to 40K a year. So they don't drain the system. Really, public schools drain the system. But when you add that many kids, even in a private school, and when you're also considering that, yes, it's a private school, but if these individuals are already using the system in order to remain afloat, and many are struggling and sending them to these private schools, how are the private schools truly getting that money back? I think, and you saw that little blurb there saying that there is a workaround. So I do think there is some government assistance coming into even those private schools. Casimir Freedom, he noted their schools get public funding. This is true. The question is how much. Agreed. But here's the thing, even if it's a minor amount, but per kid with that many kids, it ends up being a large amount. Add some space. I like where you're coming from. You're a sharp person. Yeah. Hey, listen, Casimir and Add some space. I appreciate you guys coming out. You are welcome additions to this group. I always enjoy, Nate and Rowan are always hanging out, and I'm here most nights. The only night I'm definitely not here is tomorrow night on Mondays, because I do another show about track and field called Talking in Ovals. But most nights I come and hang out, and then every other Wednesday I do a different interview with someone. someone either in politics, sports, entertainment, stuff like that. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good video. I enjoyed watching it. I like Tyler Oliveira, most of his work. You could disagree with this stuff, but he goes in, he asks questions, he has interests. And yes, listen, everyone has an angle. Everyone has an angle when they're going in. If you're a documentary filmmaker, you have an angle. You have a goal. If you don't, your documentary is not interesting. If you just go in randomly, there's nothing of interest there. There's nothing to prove or to gain. So, at some spaces, if someone has one kid in the public school, I think you can compare 6 kids in private schools. I'm talking about government funding. This is true, but also I'm paying taxpayer money into these private schools as well. I mean, these public schools, not private, these public schools as well. So there is government assistance that comes down because they're subsidiary to doing what the government wants them to do. But I mean, I'm also paying a shit ton of taxes. There's school taxes that everyone has to pay. So while it's not the full brunt of it, I am paying a ton in taxes to make sure my kids go to public school. And believe me, I'm involved in my public schools to make sure that they are doing as much as possible as I want them to do. Casper Freedom saying, indeed, right wingers ought to stick together. I appreciate you guys. At some space saying it's 30K. Yep, 30,000. But all right, everyone, I'm jumping out of here. I enjoyed watching that video. It kind of derailed. I was going to talk about some leftist shit that they were speaking, but I will probably save that now for Tuesday. And there's a chance, I mean, Nate and Rollin know that there's a chance I pop on after Talking in Ovals tomorrow night to maybe do an hour. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll see how tired I am. No promises that I will jump on after my track and field podcast. Probably that will go until about 10:30. So if anything, I'll jump on possibly at 11 and maybe do some cleanup, just talking about the Democrats, kind of Democratic leadership, the leftist leadership, openly saying what they want to do for the future when they take back power. We've had a enclave of videos. They are now just signaling to their base what their goal is. And I think this is trying to be their rallying call for why they want them to vote for them to get them back in power. But yeah, so I'm boogieing out of here. Obviously, you know, Nate, caveat, always good seeing you. Add some space, Kashmir, welcome to the club. And I hope to see you guys around again. So I am out of here. I will see you guys later. And everyone, so long. Oh, by the way, go follow us on the socials at Talking in Ovals. Throw a like on the page. And wherever you're watching from, YouTube, X, Facebook, Kick, or Rumble, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Everyone, I'll talk to you guys later. So long, y'all.